Hello, 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 and welcome to the Quebec channel. I'm Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a good Sunday morning. It is Sunday morning. I have to check, but it is. I'm just going to take my tablets and then we are ready. We are awesome. We are happy. Okay, so we are going to have some potatoes, some veg of some kind, and we are going to. I'm cooking up a little bit of chicken for myself, and I'm cooking up like 7 or 8 sausages for the dogs. So we'll turn the air fryer on first and then get everything ready. All in splendor first. So the air fryer is on. Now we will start to prepare the meal. While waiting for anybody who wants to chat. Your splendors. Munchies was wonderful last night. I was amazed at how many talented people we have. One more day with potatoes. End of the week, I'll be buying some more food in, some more to my grocery shop. Potatoes, ready to go. The dog is going to get very noise. I think it's going to be mixed veg. Okay, it's all frozen anyway. Yeah, let's get some veg. Hello, Soda. Hey, I'm okay. Lunches was very good last night. I'm just doing potatoes, some carrots. I'm cooking some chicken for myself. And I'm cooking some sausages for the dog. Carrot food. That's the carrots. Get all this done before we start chatting. The water for the carrots. We've got this started. Like so. Everything is tickety boo. Time to the dog's food, the first dog food of the day. So let's put some dog's food on. That's dry dog food and some wet dog food on top of it. I wasn't going to tell you my shopping. I like to look at my shopping list. So, for the chicken, dog food. So, how is your weekend going? You want sausages? Like the doggies? Right, so doggy food. Ready? The plan is this. The plan is don't want that. Nothing with this morning. Okay, baby. Maybe there for a little bit. But if you don't. Hello there, Kestaple. We're going to rebuild the controller that we took apart. It's dried out now. Right here. This will be the last one we have to put together. So here we go. Here we go, my good friends of doom and gloom and happiness. I actually really enjoyed morning Ben. I actually really enjoyed playing Star Citizen last night, and if I hadn't crashed out, I would have played a hell of a lot more of it. So that's interesting to me. Okay. Have a lovely day, Kestapo. Those two are on there. So the actual controllers are back on there. Now let's put the bits and pieces in. All the little doodads that have to go inside here. Da, 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 da. Know how to put these together now so well. Today we are cooking potatoes, carrots. I'm doing some chicken for myself. The dogs are going to have. I'm cooking up some sausages for the dogs for later. The doggies will have sausages. To put these last set of rupees in. What a set of settings. Come on. Oh, don't want to drop it. Don't want to drop this little thing. So let's see. Let's make sure this goes on right. There. All ready for the bits to be placed on top of it. Like so. Like there. Actually, I've missed a part. Come back out. I haven't put the membranes in. The membranes have got to go on. There we go. One membrane. Second membrane. the way it goes on. I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't look. But it does actually look like it's the right place. Okay, so we've got all of that on right. Yeah. Original Xbox, yeah. I've got my original Xbox upstairs, and I bought like 6 different controllers that needed a bit of work on them. I love the old controllers. So, come on. Let's get you seated in right. There. There. You're seated in right. Let's put that one in there. And this one here, like so. There. The 2 motors are ready. Make sure that this is in the right place. There we are. Everything is in the right place. Put the lid on. There. The Big Daddy, I've got, these are the S controllers. I've got 4 S controllers. No, 3 S controllers that work, 1 S controller that doesn't, and I'm using it for spare parts. So this is the 4th S controller. I've got two of the big controller, which I much prefer, and they're both working perfectly. Set that there while I just turn this down. Where's my screwdrivers? My screwdrivers? So let's take out this piece of thingy to get the screws underneath and put this together. And these are in pretty good condition. I bought 6 of them for £20 in total. And I was only expecting to be able to repair 1 of them, maybe 2 of the controllers. But most of it was just gunk inside them. So it's actually worked really well. Yeah, it was lots of gunk in that. So let's. I always like these controllers because they had such long. You could basically sit across the other side of the room, which is good because of the way I've got my thingy set up so I can stream it upstairs. And so I should never have a problem finding a controller now. So we've got last two screws going in here. Oh, there we are. Pretty good condition. Every button feels good. So this is the Big Daddy that I. Hello there, honey. This is the Big Daddy controller that I repaired last. Reconfurbished it from there. So I mean, the difference between the Xbox S controller I mean, look at the size of that This big one is so much bigger. But these are both in really good condition now. I mean, these, I've got all the ones that I prepared are now in really good condition. We've got a couple of frayed cables on a couple of the S ones, but I've got one that I can take a cable out. The one that's broken, if one of the cables fails, I can replace it with a cable from another. So these two will go upstairs now on the Xbox. How are you? Honey? Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey. What do you mean that's not how you wrap a cable? That cable's fine. It's lasted 20 years like that. They were designed to be able to handle that, because they knew that's how people would do it. No, 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 you don't. No, you don't. Let me show you. Unlike a lot of controllers, these controllers have very, very good collars. So many collars. Only the collars on them are very, very strong. Of all the controllers I've got, and I've got 6 of these, the only ones that break are the ones that there's damage to the actual, a couple, but none of them are broke on that point there. It's a fallacy to say that that will break. On some controllers, yes, they don't have, but Microsoft, from the original ones onwards, created a really good collar. I mean, unless this collar breaks, unless this collar becomes thingy, there is no stress on that collar part of it. I should know. I've prepared enough of these. The same with these. In fact, if you look at the S, they even made it bigger. Yeah, even the S one. The S one, look at the massive collar they've put on it. And these aren't the kind of collars that you get these days that break. Yeah, these are so strong, the collar is there. That, but I will, but honey, yeah, take a picture of one and actually show it on my Discord. It'd be interesting to see how you wrap cables. These ones, most of them, then, yeah, I agree. Atari 2600s, you should never wrap their cables. They break. Atari 2600, Nintendos, most of the Nintendo ones for the SNES and everything like that. If you wrap them like this, you can kill the cable quite easily. So, honey, who is Nachi, is right in that. If you wrap Amiga 500s, the mouse, if you wrap that, that's a problem. Yeah, the NES, the SNES, all them will break. The original Master System, the GameCube, they didn't think about how a person will use this. Microsoft did. When it was coming from outside of the console stuff and looked at it, they saw that would be a potential breakage. And that's why those controllers, all I had to do basically is clean out the gunk inside, are still like tanks and in perfect condition. But yeah, I've got two Speed King controllers for the Amiga, and someone's wrapped the cables with them, and it's broken the actual collar, and so it's just frayed wires leading in. So yeah, Nachi is right. Nachi, who is Honeybee, one of my good friends, is right that most consoles out there, you should never wrap the cables like that. But Microsoft, because they were coming from outside, before they created their first console, everybody laughed at them because they thought they won't know what they're doing and that. I mean, Sony, Nintendo, and all the others had been in the market for so long and knew what they were doing. But because they had been in the market for so long, they didn't look at the potential. And this is why the Xbox 360 is classed as one of the world's best controllers. And it came from a company that built operating systems. Yeah, they had the advantage in that way. Whereas Nintendo said, this is the way you store your controllers. But they didn't understand the way people actually do store their controllers. Kids do wrap their things, and the damage done to a lot of, even the Dreamcast controller, gorgeous controller, but not many Dreamcast controller cables have lasted very well at all. Unfortunately, most companies. So Nachi is right about pretty much every one except it's a bloody monster. I mean, look at the size of it. It's a monster. It's as big as my head. It's a controller. It was built to be a tank. It was built by someone who thought, hey, what are kids going to do with this controller? And they wanted to build a controller that could deal with it. That's why we've got controllers like this that are 21 years old that just needed basically a wipe down inside in soapy water just to get rid of the actual gunk that had collected on the contacts. And everything still works on it. That's the difference. That's what made the Xbox controllers special. But yeah, even the PS4 controllers, when we used to have the wired ones on the PS2 and the PS3, they very much could break easily on the actual thingy. And even modern controllers are not as good as these old ones. I've got a Japanese-made fake Xbox original controller, and it's horrible. It's the most horrible controller I've ever held. It isn't because it feels so cheap and plasticky because it's a Chinesium. I think someone mentioned the word Chinesium, and it was it's a really horrible controller. It's a fake Xbox original controller. It works, but it's so light and it's so cheap. There's nothing to it. It'll probably last about 6 months, whereas these have lasted 20 years. It's like this keyboard. This keyboard here has lasted me since yeah. This keyboard here, the Logitech K380, this keyboard has been through like 8 different computers. It's a Bluetooth keyboard, so I pair it with the Steam Deck. But this thing has been thrown about, it's been dropped. It's an amazing, strong keyboard. See, I love certain technology you have to be very careful with. Yeah. But yeah, it's getting harder and harder to find technology that's in good condition. For example, my Xbox upstairs, I paid £200 for it. It was professionally recapped, modded, so it could use double the amount of megabytes RAM. So instead of 64 megs RAM that the original had, it had 128. It had a completely refurbished main drive. Thank you. Main drive and its hard drive, which was a 30 gigabyte hard drive, was replaced with a 2 terabyte hard drive and a SerBIOS BIOS system for it, so we can access it. It's an amazing system upstairs. I love that system. It's got emulators. It's got nearly every original Xbox game on it. It is gorgeous. Plus, he has blue shiny LEDs. But these days, it's so much harder to find tech that the capacitors haven't blown. One of the worst things is the batteries, the CMOS battery. The CMOS battery, the backup battery in a lot of Nintendos was bad quality, badly. So stuff like the original NES and that, when you open them up, you have to hope and pray that the battery didn't leak, because it would kill the motherboard, basically eat it away. And the same problem with the Amiga. The first thing, if you get an Amiga, you have to go inside and take out the old CMOS style battery, because it will leak. They will leak and kill. The old Apple Macs, same thing, and so on. Remove those. You've got to remove the old battery. Never turn it back on when you first find it. Yeah. Let's say you find an Amiga 500 in your loft. Do not plug it in. Do not plug it in if it's been sitting in your loft for 10 years, 20 years. Unscrew it, find and check whether or not it's got CMOS damage, where it's got battery damage. And if the battery is okay, remove it. Just take it out of the system before you power on, and then check the capacitors. See if any of the capacitors look like they're leaking, because most of these computers will need to be recapped, new capacitors put on, because they were never meant to last this long. I mean, my Amiga upstairs has been professionally recapped. That Amiga is a special edition, and it's from 1989. They had no freaking idea that this technology would last long, or people would still want to play the damn thing 40 years, 30, 40 years later. But here we are. Like this. It's like this. This is my favourite. This isn't the original, but this is the first handheld console I had. This is the first handheld console that I had. Yeah, thank you for sending it. And this from 1977. This comes from 1977. It's called Galaxy Invaders. There's Galaxy Invader 1000, Galaxy Invaders 10,000, and so on. But this still works, still plays, still works, still play. Still works, still play. I can still play it and beat it now. And it's got the original switch in it, the original left and right switch, and the original fire button. And all I've had to do with this is open it up and use some cleaning contact fluid to clean it. That's all. And this is from 1977. And this is why it makes me wonder why I said it's let's just, I can't play this here. Let's turn it off and on. This is an old game which is basically like Space Invader, where you've got to kill aliens who are coming down the screen, and you can move your character from one side to side. I can still play it quite easily. This is one of the first hand consoles I played. So yeah, it's supposed to be basically just Space Invaders. And it still works fine. The buttons are still very responsive. It's got a top score you can get on it of 199, and you can increase the detail. It's got 3 different challenge levels. But, oops, I lost one. Almost beat it. Let's just get to the high score. This is pure muscle memory. Yep, see, I beat it. 190. Score is 199, and that's when you end it. So, hello, Fossey. So, yeah. And this is from 1977. That was the first hand console I ever played, the Galaxy 1000. Galaxy 1000 handheld. And the Binito Master System that I've got upstairs that still works is the type of console that I used in the 1970s. And the sad thing is, modern technology is built to be thrown away. There is no way that my phone will last 40 years. There's no way that in 40 years' time, my phone will still be working. Or even 20 years' time. And that's sad. Yeah, I've got GOG. I've got many, many, many games on GOG. Yeah, I'll give you my thingy. Remind me on Discord, because remember, you always have to remind me on Discord about what's going on. Hello, Max. So yeah, old technology was built better. It isn't just being a retro person. Old technology was built better. The thing is, you may say, why would you want to use a phone that's like 10, 20 years old? But the thing is this, a lot of these systems are still usable. And if we're going to recycle, one of the things we have to do is you reuse the technology we already had, like old phones, like this one. This is my old backup phone. It's this phone is 9 years old. This phone is 9 years old. It's a Sony Xperia, one of the first Xperias they did. And the thing is, this makes an excellent MP3 player because it's got the Sony Walkman software in it. This also has a Zeiss camera on it. And the Zeiss camera, I used to have an N-Gage, I loved them. Which means this could be used as a webcam. This is my backup webcam. And it still works as a phone. The battery is failing in it. And that's a sad thing with these ones that didn't have batteries that you could replace. But technology, sadly, but I can't see a lot of what we've got now lasting, because this last 10, 20 years, most of the problem with recycling and that, most of the problem with the planet isn't us as normal users of things. It's that the corporations have created technology that is built to break. It's built to fail. Most companies build a product that they want to break, so you buy a new one. They sell it to you cheap, and they don't want it to last 20 years. It's like, how many of them? Yeah. How many of us? Okay, just give me a sec. I'll just show you. Let me go get my phone, my old phone that still works. Okay. Okay. Now this is the Nokia 7110. The Nokia 7110. People think it's the Matrix phone. It isn't. The Matrix phone was the 8110. But this is a really cool phone. And watch this. Still works, that does. Yeah. The 7110 and let's power it up. This hasn't been charged recently, but look. It still works. You can still play Snake on it. What's cooking is potatoes, carrots, and chicken. And some sausages for the dogs. So, this phone still works. I can make a call on this phone. I've got to sell a thing in it, and it will register in a min once it's realised it's awake, and it will connect to the network. And this phone from almost 20 years ago, look, it's registered to the BT Cellnet. Can't really see it, but it's registered, ready for making calls. And that's a phone from 20 years ago. Can you really tell me that your phone that you bought recently, your iPhone, will still be working in 20 years compared to this? No. And the nice thing about this phone, I'll tell you. First of all, this phone will get maximum signal in my house because the antenna in it is more powerful than anything you get today. And you can even send text on this, basic text, and there's none of the month, there's none of the tracking system. This phone, this is why what they call dumb phones are coming back into thingy, because phones like Samsung can have so much tracking software, so much stuff that keeps an eye on where you are and what you're doing, whereas these old phones don't. So these are amazing, these are. So it's time to sort the food out. Yeah, yeah. I actually have altered my opinion of the actual game. I actually really think I'm going to buy myself a chip package. I'm going to buy myself a chip package for the game because I now see the potential of that game. I now see the potential of Star Citizen. To basically, it's a game you just go in and do whatever you want and just have fun and live. And you can do anything. You can, yeah. I mean, anybody who wants to try it, these next 5 days, like Harry O'Brien says, it's a stress test. It's a test. It's a good test for the system. At the end of the trial, I am going to save up at the end of this month and buy myself a starter pack for the game. Because I really enjoyed my time in there. Even if I didn't get into space, it doesn't matter. That's weird. Have you checked the Reddit to see if there's any reason for that, Parker? Because that game is absolutely stunning. And it feels lived in. And it feels as if you're in a living, breathing world. Yeah. Star Citizen. How to best describe it? It's the game you wanted to play if you wanted to live in space. If you wanted to actually live properly. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I know there's going to be... It's still pre-alpha thingy, I know that. I'm not going to rage on it for the bugs or anything. I know it had a lot of bugs when it up to the latest version and all that kind of thing. But kind of weird. Usually they run. Could it be your? Have you got antivirus on your system that could be interfering or something? Because I don't think I've heard of anybody where the actual the launcher doesn't work. Let's start getting the food ready. We need to food ready. So, the dogs have had their food already. Put this, remove that. Get the chicken. Chicken. Oh, chicken. Right. Hi, chicken. Slice this up on my plate. Basic white chicken I can eat. I can't eat anything like fried chicken or stuff like that. That's all there. That's all there. Now we've got to get all the gravy. Yeah, check the ready to that because it is well worth it, Parker. It's well worth testing it out this week. It really is. Altered my perception of it. Again. Completely. Because many times I've raged about the idea of the pledge system and everything. But what I understand now what they're trying to do. So I'm actually really impressed. Gravy going first. I need my swirly thing. With the swirly thing. No. Unfortunately, I can't have any kind of citric stuff. My body can't handle citric stuff anymore. Or most foods. Basic white chicken I can have. I'm very limited in the food I can eat, which is why you see a lot of the same things. I can't have normal boiled potatoes, they've got to be mashed. I can't have dairy products. So I have stuff like oat milk instead. So when I use mash, I have to use mayonnaise. For some reason, my body can handle mayonnaise instead of butter in my. So I've had to adapt everything I do. I'll show you the meal once it's fully in. Ready? Oat milk is lovely. So we need. Where's my masher? My super masher. This masher. See? Later. Yeah. Wait till more later. Gravy. Yes, we make gravy because it's one of the few types of gravy I can have. So I'll show you a picture of some to go in there. Yeah, Bertie knows about the food. He also knows about the topics that are in here. That's what's cool. Just so let's show. No, Nokia made some of the nicest. Yeah, food ready to eat. There's the doggy down there, Bertie. Carol's in the other room resting. Okay. So I will say bye-bye for now. I'm going to go and eat my food that I've just made. And I will then go upstairs and probably do a stream of some kind. I'll reply to you, Nachi, and that on. Anybody who wants to talk to me, you should be able to get my Discord from in here and there in my videos. So bye-bye for now, you wonderful special people. You are awesome. Bye-bye, Max.